Hi everybody, my name is Leo Schumaker for Adventures with Leo Schumaker in Poulsbo, Washington. We're going to be talking to Bob Rau about Bob's Cigar Box Guitars. They're works of art and they play. Let's go talk to Bob. We're talking to Bob Rau about Bob's Cigar Box Guitars right here at the Verksted Gallery in Poulsbo,
Yeah.
Washington. Now, they're beautiful.
Thank you.
There is a history to cigar box guitars. Tell us about that,
There
please.
is. Well, the whole thing really started during the Civil War. Everybody was dirt poor, but people wanted to make music. And so find an old wooden cigar box and a broom handle and put a wire from a screen door on it and make a guitar, or an instrument anyway, out of it. One stringer is called a diddly bow, and it kind of grew from there. Then a few years ago, the whole thing got resurrected, kind of a revolution, if you want to call it that, and people all over the country are building cigar box guitars. And there's all kinds of them, from people just making them from found objects to people making works of art, really elaborate ones, and everybody has a different take on it. So,
now, your history with cigar box guitars, you played an instrument and you played in a pizza parlor, right?
I did.
Tell us that story. I love that story.
I played the banjo in the late 60s. I was in college and played the banjo in a pizza parlor for sing-along music. And there was two guitar players and a piano player, and I played for, here I was 18 years old. For $5 a night and all the beer I could drink. So, but in that one term I gained 15 pounds and lost a full grade point. So I had to knock that off. It was fun while I did it.
How'd you get back into playing banjo again, and how'd you get into making these instruments?
Well, when I was still working, and every now and then we'd go walk through Seattle, and I saw a fellow that sold them at the Pike Place Market, and I thought, wow, that's interesting, and did a little bit of research, and I thought, well, why don't I build one? And so I built one, and it was pretty crappy, and then I built another one and another one, and my skills got better, and I got more tools, and eventually all my grandkids had them, and so did my kids. So I thought, well, I need to sell them. So that's what I'm doing now.
How long have you been in this gallery?
It's about 4 years.
Now, they're cigar boxes.
Yes.
You would never think a cigar box would be very valuable, but they are pieces of art.
Well, they are, and some of them are very plain, and some of them that are plain but solid wood have a very good tone for a guitar. Others are more colorful, and they may be made out of cardboard or MDF with pretty decorations on them. Those generally don't sound as good, but if with a little work I can build a box within a box and make them sound okay.
And I see some cedar wood up there, right?
No, I don't think anything here is cedar.
Oh, okay.
This could be.
What are some of the other woods you use?
Well, for the woods, one of my favorites is, well, this is leopard wood, and I like the looks of it.
I've never heard of leopard wood.
Yeah, I use a lot of tropical hardwoods, ones that are not endangered.
Like rosewood, that's endangered.
Yeah, no, I don't use rosewood.
Okay.
And this is canary wood. The fretboards, I like to use wenge, which is a black wood from Africa.
Oh.
Or morado, also known as Bolivian rosewood.
Okay.
It's not a true rosewood, but it's dark and it's very pretty. Yeah, let's see. This is Purple Heart. Use all kinds of wood. Bloodwood is. This is. Yes, that's bloodwood. That's one of my favorites. It's a very dark red color, and dimensionally stable usually.
Where do you get the wood from for the necks?
Oh, for the next, I go downtown Seattle at a place that sells crosscut hardwood. Sells hardwood, and Eden saw hardwoods in Port Townsend. Both those are good places for locally anyway for hardwoods. And occasionally I'll even mail order them. But usually I like to touch and feel and look at, mainly so I can assure that the pieces are straight. That's most important, because I can't accommodate any twist, and a lot of times under tension the guitar will bow, neck will bow a little bit, but most commercial guitars have a what do you call it? Anyway, they have a device in them where you can take the bow out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
really?
But I don't do that. Then I'd have to run up my price, and I like to keep mine affordable. So I like to choose hardwood that's dimensionally stable and very strong. So I'm not relying on that.
We're talking to Bob Rau from Bob's Cigar Box Guitars here at the Verksted Gallery.
Yes.
And there's some beautiful box guitars. And now, where do you get the boxes at?
Boy, I get them at cigar stores. Cigar stores don't generally just give away their boxes. I have to buy them. But I've got a couple of favorite places that I go to get where I know they have a good variety. And so I'll make a trip to the other side, or right down the street. A fellow sells cigars, and I get them from him occasionally too.
And how much do they cost?
Oh boy, anywhere from $5 to $20.
That's not bad.
Depending, yeah.
Now, we talked about a teacher undermining your efforts to get the cigar boxes, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of times I'll go to a cigar store and they won't have any, and the guy will say, well, you should have been here yesterday, because a second grade teacher came in and loaded up on all their boxes to use as craft projects for our kids. So.
I wonder if anybody ever took it home and made a guitar out of it. You never know, right?
Well, there is a fellow on Bainbridge, a teacher, and he has a wood shop, and he has the kids make boxes, and then he has them build the guitars. It's
I'll
cool
be darned.
idea.
Now, you have a Banjo. Right?
Well, I don't have the Banjo here. I do have a banjo.
What is a Banjo, first of all?
Well, a Banjo, what I call, is made with a film can, because it's round and it makes it. And I thought, well, that'd make a good banjo.
And the resonators originally were tin.
Yes.
For the guitars. Oh, yes. Perfect.
And this is a banjo made from a round cigar box. And this has a resonator on it. I put the resonator in because without it, it wouldn't have much volume.
So explain what a resonator is.
Well, a dobro is one of the original resonator guitars. And resonator actually increases the volume. And on the original resonator guitars, they did that in I think it was the 30s, before they had electric guitars. And to keep the guitar in the orchestra from being drowned out by all the other instruments.
Sure.
That's the main reason why they did it. But now they do it for either aesthetic or mainly for the tone reason. They sound quite a bit different.
They look beautiful. It looks really nice. Wow.
This is and I've got a couple of different types. I use that on the banjo, and this style is, and I get these. This is almost like a regular dobro. It has a cone on the inside with a cover for it, and I used to get them from a fellow in Texas, probably by way of China, but he stopped selling them for a while, so I get them from Australia.
Wow, that's a long ways.
It is.
Now, we talked about cigar boxes, but what about Jaime Garcia boxes? What's so special about them?
That's one of my favorites, and do I I have one here? I don't. This is very similar.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it's. I like large boxes. Jaime Garcia looks very much like this because it's plain, it's dark. I mean, but it's plain and it's solid wood. And this one is happens. You know what kind is this? I don't even know what kind of box this is, but it's not a Jaime Garcia. I usually have one or two in here, but they sell quickly. They sound good.
Do they?
Yeah.
Ah. Are they easy to play?
Yes, they are. I generally make 4-string cigar box guitars. Probably more common is 3 strings, and a variety of tunings, G, D, G, D, A, D. But it's an open chord, and that's probably the most common. Very easy to play. 4 strings, I like to tune them 2 different ways. One is like the top 4 strings, or strings 1, 2, 3, 4, on a 6-string guitar. Mm-hmm. That makes them a tenor guitar, and it's just the strings 1, 2, 3, 4 out of a 6-string. But if you can play an ukulele, you can play one of those. It's the same fingering, it'll be a different key and different sound. And so I do that so that people are more familiar with them. But I do also tune them. I take the E, drop it to a D, so it's a drop D tuning. And let's see, that'll be like this. And this is number 1 string is a E, this is number 1 string is a D.
They have a different tone to them.
That's an open chord for playing with a slide.
And they have a different tone to them.
They do. And a lot of times people will tune them with that open tuning to play with a slide.
And do you, how about you?
Blue style slide guitar, that's one of the reasons I started building them, because I wanted to learn how to do that. But I got caught up in the building of them, and I still haven't taught myself to play a slide guitar.
And Bob Rau, you have amplifiers.
I do.
And do you have slide glass pieces too?
Well, yeah, I have glass and copper or stainless, number of different slides. They all have a little bit different sound. And the amplifiers I build are all 9-volt battery powered.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and most of them are 5 watts, and besides the tone and volume knobs, they also have a 5-way overdrive, so you can really fuzz up the sound and sound like Jimi Hendrix if you want.
And we talked about people that play these kind of guitars, the Cigar Box. Bo Diddley had a beautiful one, a red one.
Yes.
I think Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top also designed one close to it, and he sells it to this day.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
And Tom Waits was one of my heroes, and American iconic actor, musician, entertainer.
Yes.
And also Samantha Fish.
Samantha Fish.
And a lot of people love Samantha Fish for her when she plays the Cigar Box guitars. Yes. Why has it got such a thrill to it?
Well, it's because it's Americana, and I think that's a lot of the reason. Roots music, and a lot of, especially the slide work is like from the South and the old time, or from the hills, and bluesy, either Mississippi Delta blues or hill blues, and country western blues. Also, it's versatile.
And Bob, we talked about a festival you went to, and you have a T-shirt on at the festival. Tell us about that.
Well, this was, they're all over the country, actually. Well, not this
Not
year.
now.
Not now. But I went to one in St. Louis, the St. Louis Cigar Box Guitar Festival. It was out in a big parking lot and hosted by, Highway 61 Roadhouse.
Yeah.
And this fellow was featured there, Justin Johnson. And it had guitar builders and players, people selling parts, and then performing on the stage. It was pretty interesting.
I'll be darned.
And I wanted to see what was going on in the country, you know, what my instruments look like compared to others, and it was very interesting.
Did you take any with you and sell any?
No, I didn't.
Will you at one time do that?
Not there, probably.
Uh-huh.
Mine are too expensive. Most of the ones there sell for like $100 to $120.
Really?
Yeah, and people like to make them inexpensively from found parts. I spend more than that just in parts on mine. And well, as you can see, I like the different kinds of tropical hardwoods. I use different kinds of headstock styles in different boxes. All mine are a little different, and I try to make them as works of art.
So when people come into the Verksted Gallery, do they say it's a piece of art and they're going to take it home and put it in the wall?
Sometimes they do. Some people buy them, they have no interest in playing them, they just want to hang it on the wall. And I tell them, please tune it up, leave it tuned, so if somebody comes to their house, they can play it.
Oh, that's excellent.
And then other folks just want to play. And I think one of the best, boy, I can't remember if it was June or July, right after things kind of, at least this gallery opened back up after being shut down for a while. I had my best month ever. I think people wanted knew they're going to still be stuck at home, and they wanted something to do, and so they wanted to play music. So
wow.
sold a bunch of them there.
Well, I hope that they all come back in and say, I learned this song and played for you.
Yeah, I would like that.
We're talking to Bob Rau at Bob's Cigar Box Guitars at the Verksted Gallery in Poulsbo,
Yes.
Washington.
Well, I started using different kinds of coins just as a decoration on the headstocks, and I found I like the Buffalo nickels. And there is another cigar box guitar builder called John Nickel, and his trademark is the Indian head side of the Buffalo nickels. And I didn't want to step on his trademark, so I use the Buffalo side, and I really like them. And people comment on them and say, well, aren't they valuable, Buffalo nickels? Well, they can be, but these aren't. I buy them in bulk, but I like the looks of them. So it's just strictly a decoration.
That's a Banjo Lele?
Banjo Lele, yes. It's a collaboration with Norm Hicks, a wood turner, and he built the pot out of wormwood, which was like Douglas fir that's been out in the ocean and eaten by marine borers. So you see all the holes in it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I built the neck and actually built the instrument. And at first I tuned it with nylon strings just like a ukulele. I didn't like the sound of it so much, so I put steel strings on it. It's still tuned like a uke, but instead of Hawaiian tuning, which is called re-entrant tuning, it's linear tuning. So the G, C, E, A, the G is low G instead of high G. So anyway, you can see it has a banjo sound to it.
Thank you, Bob Rau. Thanks so much. Located on the main street down here, and I'm sure you get a lot of foot traffic. And
we do.
And do you have a Facebook, Bob?
I do not.
Do you have a way we can get a hold of you? Website?
Yes. Well, if you go to, I don't have a website, but if you go to VerkstedGallery.com, or we have a Facebook page also.
Good.
And at least I will be, you can see, in fact, you can see videos of people playing my instruments on there too, on the Facebook page.
I'll check that out. Bob, I want to thank you so much.